Right, recording. So, hi you guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm back with a new video, and I've never heard of this woman, Ann Wolfe. And one of you guys commented, since you like Tyson, check out Ann Wolfe. You will be just as impressed. Charles Wallace said this. So, my expectations are this high, okay? Those words are some heavy words comparing to Mike. So I'm super excited. The most feared female fighter. Let's get straight into this video.
Wolfe was an 8-time champion, the hardest hitting female puncher the sport has ever seen.
That is probably the best
Hey! Okay.
ever seen in female boxing, absolutely ever.
Ann is really the best woman pound for pound in the whole world.
Ann Wolfe was going nowhere. Her youth was spent in a shack without electricity or running water. She was sexually abused as a child. The horror of it changed her to her core. She vowed to never be weak again. She dropped out of middle school and started working. She grew stronger.
Oh, in middle school? How old are you in middle school? Like, you're just a kid, right? Wow. I'm not American, so we call it differently, but...
And more unstable and aggressive by the day. When she's 18, her absentee father was murdered, and her mother lost a fight to cancer. Left to her own devices with that much sheer trauma, Ann Wolfe became a public menace. Ann would fight anybody for just about anything. It was becoming a problem. By 22, she did time for dealing and had 2 daughters. She was homeless with 2 babies for all of 1996. She was sheltering from a cold winter's night with her daughters, sleeping in the waiting room of a local hospital.
This
where
doesn't
the TV
stop.
was always on. It was some of the only TV Ann ever got to watch. And that night, she saw 2 girls boxing. That night, Ann Wolfe knew what she wanted to do with her life. The second gym she looked up, she met Pops. Donald Pops Billingsley had never trained a woman before and never intended to. But he saw the desperation and anger in her. He saw she was
I
determined
got goosebumps in my face. All over my body. It's just a lot.
to fight to feed her children. A lifetime of manual labor made Ann strong.
So much
A
goosebumps.
lifetime of trauma gave
That's
her a
raw.
nearly
That's raw strength.
uncontrollable rage.
Sorry, I'm gonna let it play now.
Early on in her training, Ann would have to be restrained during sparring sessions as she took out her anger wherever she could. As she learned to control the ring and her opponents, she also learned to control herself. Eventually, Ann was getting thrown to the lions.
Discipline.
She usually sparred against men, occasionally against heavyweight men. Ann was holding her own. Ann goes pro as quick as she can. Quickly develops a reputation for being a murderous puncher. While Ann turned pro in 1998, footage starts turning up in the year 2000. Most women in her early fights were just plain shell-shocked. Like Marianne Almanger,
I got so much chills. Shish.
who lasted a grand total of just 41 seconds.
Oh. What was her name? My name is Miriam. It said like Marion. Isn't that exactly like my name? Shish. This is crazy.
But every puncher eventually has to learn the lesson.
She took that
raw
hit.
power just isn't enough.
No, it's so much other technical work
It
that you
took
need
a
to.
tough girl to show Ann that boxing was more than throwing both hands as hard as you can. Valerie Mahfoud had doubled the amount of fights Ann did and possessed absolutely no fear. She kept her chin tucked and tried to smother Ann's power, all the while punching short and accurate between Ann's sweeping haymakers.
Ah.
She stood up to her and knocked Ann out in the third round of a war.
She had taken some nasty hits.
Ann hated losing. After the loss,
She won? Hold on, I'm sorry. Look like she lost, and then she stood. Let me see.
she stood up to her and knocked Ann out in the third round of a war. Ann hated losing.
Oh, so she was upset. Oh.
After the loss, you can see her growing fight by fight.
There's much more sides to the sport when you get to know
From
it
a
and
raw
understand
physical
it.
presence
You just watch, you just
into a
think
more
they hitting.
fluid, technical brawler. She started moving her head.
Oh, okay. Hey!
She started digging with a vicious uppercut. Ann was faced with another undefeated fighter in Vienna Williams for the vacant 150. Unanimous decision gave Ann her first of many championship wins.
I was worried. Oh my god, I was like,
Hard fights were the exception.
oh, I got so much
Most women who got
goosebumps.
in the ring with her were terrified before the bell rang.
Who's that opponent? Jeez. Gina?
Ann was the Sonny Liston of the
What did
women's
Gina
division.
take? That looks crazy. Gina looked like she's something, I'm not gonna lie.
Raw
Is that
power,
natural? Look at
big
Gina.
reach,
What's on Anne?
and a terrifying presence.
We know
you
Ann
could
got that
feel
raw
long
strength just
before
from
the
life.
punches.
You cannot train for that. You just have to live a certain.
Half the battle was not being intimidated. While Gina Nichols got her courage up,
Gina looks a little stiff though, I'm not gonna lie. All that strength. What you gonna do with it?
the other half of the battle is not getting laid out by Ann's vicious power and technical veracity.
Yeah, Anne got a nicer rhythm to it, I think. Like, Gina's so compact and just like short. Arms too.
It was this half of the battle that Gina
Like, look at
lost badly.
her. There you go. Well, she looks like natural. Gina looked like something artificial. I'm not gonna lie. Can't just be me. Those muscles poking at her.
Anne wanted revenge for a great many things. But while most of her past was thankfully the past, Anne got the opportunity to settle at least one score. Anne got a rematch with Valerie Mahfoud.
Well, there's no denying this is the biggest.
I'm not gonna lie, that first one, it looked like a man. Like, don't cancel me, please. Like, can we just be, it's no disrespect. Like, I was just like, hold on.
Fight ever. And right now, this is the biggest fight in boxing, period. But at the end of the night, when all is said and done, win, lose, or draw,
you can see now there's a woman. It was just that short one. Like, don't cancel me, please.
Anne was a changed woman this time around.
Valerie is back. We saw them earlier. And now she learned so many more movements than
Her
just
skills had developed by leaps and bounds.
Look at the movement now. Huh? 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 Do that again. Do that again. I'm moving differently now.
Her combinations weren't wild anymore. She was no longer just an intimidating puncher.
Raise the volume a little bit.
Valerie Mahfoud was the same tough-as-nails Texas prison guard she ever was.
Oh, she was a Texas prison guard? Sheesh. Oh. Or that was just a way of saying it? She wasn't? I mean, she's obviously a boxer, but something to get out of a side job.
Anne's uppercut had become poison to Val's pressure and head control.
She's trying to find the...
She stepped off the line to get an angle and
accuracy.
fire it in.
Accuracy.
Followed up with a vicious left hook.
Ooh, look at the combo.
Val somehow managed to stay up in a fight.
Still standing,
and makes
though.
you question why women's boxing only has 2-minute rounds.
What's men's? What's the difference with men's rounds? Oh, your men got way more than 2. Got her. Get him. There you go.
Anne took another big step up in weight. She started at 154, but when she took on the 6'6" undefeated Vonda Ward, Anne had to put on 11 pounds to even.
I was gonna say, is that an equal opponent? Sheesh, I'm like 118 right now. I lost some weight. Or 119. Sheesh, I would
fight the light heavyweight champion.
I would be flown up in the air. I can hit them. I need to make a boxing video. I got gloves
And
and
was going
stuff.
for the championship in a 4th weight class. It didn't take long before Anne had chased the Giants into a corner.
That's different than
As
Giants.
Vonda came out, she ran into a right hand that rolled her eyes.
We know in boxing the lengthometer.
It was more than just the most horrifying KO in women's history.
Oh nah, that's scary. Look at her
There
eyes.
was a lot of unresolved rage in that punch. It was a validation of the struggle against a lifetime of cruelty, of unknown fathers and mothers gone too soon,
Ooh, I got so much
of
goosebumps.
waking up outside because she had no other place to sleep. That one punch contained every trauma and disappointment she'd been through. For just a moment, all of that was gone. Anne was everything she said she was.
It felt like for a split second I got released from every single hurt, pain. It felt like I accomplished everything that people said I never would. When Vonda hit the floor, it's a release and an emotion that came over me because I knew besides knocking out Vonda Ward, I really truly made it.
Anne kept
Oh,
busting
wow.
up any girl
She kept
brave enough
going.
to step through the ropes with her.
Consecutive fights. I mean, that would be like
That it was over.
Monica Nunez was a slick boxer.
administrative work, but the women administration of women boxing.
She used her feet to carry her out of range and a jab to make Anne pay for her intense aggression. Monica was sticking and moving well, clinching up when and where she could.
The Nunez, who I give a lot of credit for coming in that second round, and moments here in the third round, helping make
She looked like a tough cookie. She's like, that's all you got?
She is still showing Nunes that
They going back at it like. Ooh, look at her movement. Shish. That was nice.
But Monica simply did not have the power to do anything.
Yeah, we haven't seen the punches though. We've seen the
annoy
movements.
Ann Wolfe.
You need to have a package here. It's a lot of components to win.
As the rounds pass and Ann homes in on her target, Monica starts taking more than she was making miss. Ann's power was a lot more than annoying.
And definitely dictating the tempo of this one. Like the whole. She controlling it. Every time she corners her. Yeah, she was taking hits now. She really haven't made any big punches, so we've seen. Like I said, good movement though from Monica. That's about it. Really, the defense work. And it's a lot of credit when you have a nice defense, but you gotta be more than that.
After a brutal 7th, Monica refuses to come out for the 8th.
Oh, good sportsmanship.
Brown sugar.
He's a brown sugar?
Ann Wolfe, the 34-year-old fighting machine.
34?
Ann had been wanting one fight for a very long time. Layla Ali, daughter of Muhammad Ali, was also on a long winning streak.
I didn't know.
Layla was undefeated and hung around roughly the same weight class. Ann had repeatedly called her out.
You know what? Your father was one of the greatest fighters that ever lived, but you're not your father.
Much of the rest of Ann's career was spent waiting for an
Ann!
fight.
Okay, Ann!
Never got made.
Shush!
Time marches on.
In the movie business, $1 Million Baby.
This is it? It's with
Tries to catch her with a right hand.
Ali's daughter.
Cut there, and in between punch. You can see Smith slips out. And I don't think there's a better way to take it on Lisa Smith. Still to come tonight, Anthony Peters will critique. And Wolfe right now, the only thing I would say she could improve on for about 11 months. Serves him pretty good. Comes into the corner, only 20 seconds to go. Those punches. See, she's figuring this out.
After a final one-sided fight with a plainly outmatched Lisa Ested,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Baby, you give me ice and fire.
of a broken child.
She kind of looked like here. She looked like the woman from The Wire, the cop. Remember? The Wire is one of my favorite shows, but like a little bit.
Ever be weak again. She lived up to her promise to Pops.
Here, she looked
Quit his
exactly
job
like
to
her.
come train fighters with her.
Crazy picture.
She found in boxing
Look at that woman in the back, like enjoying. I'm sorry, I'm gonna listen.
a way to heal the wounds.
Wow. Shish, this was crazy, you guys. First time I heard about her. Like, this is a legendary picture right here. Like, I'm just tearing up. I got goosebumps all over my body. this is a role model right here. I felt a lot for her with her in the whole journey story. She invested. She have her house. She's still like. I like that when they retire, that they keep they sharing their knowledge and stuff, and working within other that want to become a boxer, or just like using the sport as discipline, motivation off the streets. It can sports in general. It's like therapy, really. Like it just makes you disconnect from reality a little bit and just keep your mind focused on that. It's like, for me personally, it is. I always loved sports since I was a kid, but I could relate to her a lot. I grew up broke, poor too. Like I remember, coming out from school and the electricity is shut off because rent is not paid over 6 months, and threatening to get kicked out, homelessness, all that. It's been so close to me, so I really feel for her. Like her story was just like 10 times crazier though. So yeah, I really like felt her whole journey. Like it's so inspirational and motivational. Her whole story and journey. Like wow. Thank you, Charles, for requesting this one. And Wolfe, I will remember that name. I think it's the first woman boxer that we checked out now. Wow. Wow. That's all I have to say. Love this video. Really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this one as well. Yeah, I don't know what to add. Comment down below your opinion. Appreciate you watching if you made it to the end, and hopefully I'll see you guys in another video. Bye. And I'm just glad that she could retire in peace too. She had her mind, her health, and everything. Like, some people lose that. They have to keep fighting for the money because they cannot, retire in peace because they don't have enough money. Like, just this is a success right here. And be able to support your daughter. It's like, oh. Anyways, I will stop talking. Bye, you guys.